Hi, in this episode of Redneck 101, we're talking about the off-season fishing checklist. You know, when the fishing slows down in the cooler months, I like to reflect on last year's success and challenges from the previous year, and I like to consider goals and plans for the upcoming year.
There is a Redeemer, Jesus, God's own Son, precious Lamb of God, Messiah, Holy One.
My own plans usually avoid attempting quantum leaps and large investments in new equipment in favor of restoring capabilities from the past year and making a few cost-effective, carefully considered, targeted improvements. You know, 2/3 of the fish that were caught on my boat in 2020 resulted from the prayerful off-season planning and preparation efforts. Only 1/3 of the fish caught on my boat in 2020 came from decisions and changes implemented during the year. You know, those things that you do on the fly and how you improve and change what you're doing. I like to begin my off-season checklist by replacing lost lures and broken rods. You know, buying my favorite lures in bulk and terminal tackle that I know that I'm going to use in bulk orders to get the exact stuff that I want at better prices tends to be more effective for me than buying here and there throughout the year. I repair lures as needed. I replace the hooks as needed. I repair and replace my jug lines as needed. I check over all my reels, and as needed, I clean them, I oil them, I repair them, or I respool them with new line. Okay, winterizing the little drummer boy is really important to me. It's a simple aluminum boat with an outboard motor. I keep stable in the gas, and I put stable in every time I fill it up, and I always use ethanol-free gas, and I run it through a can of sea foam through the engine every time it seems like it's idling a little rough. If you don't keep up with stable in your gas tank, if you don't put it in every time, then this is a very high priority item. You want to have stable in the gas, and you want to run it for a little while to make sure the stable works through the fuel line and actually gets into the gas that's going to be sitting in the carburetor in the engine. The other high priority items are greasing the trailer wheels so you don't end up with a bearing failure on the side of the road. So make sure the trailer bearings get greased on your trailer, especially if you haven't been doing that throughout the year. If you did it in October or November and only fished a couple times since you topped off, the bearing grease is probably not really needed. Boats and trailers used in salt water should also be rinsed very carefully to remove all the salt. If I can't do my final trip of the season in fresh water, I'll double rinse the boat and trailer. I'll also run fresh water through the cooling system on the motor. Now, my boat is aluminum, so I just pull the plug and leave it outside. Fiberglass boats often benefit from a little more care and covering them if you can't store them inside. Likewise, the more complex your accessories and your electronics, the more attention you need to pay to winterizing. Make sure there's no water left to freeze inside of your lines and pumps, and store your most sensitive electronics inside. I'm intentionally resisting temptations to add expensive upgrades like better sonar and a trolling motor. The marginal benefits for the minority of fishing days where these would be a significant benefit for me don't justify the cost of thousands of dollars relative to my overall fishing budget. I did send in my Lowrance sonar for a warranty repair, and I reinstalled my older Lowrance unit in the meantime. The one significant upgrading capability I'm adding this season is an underwater fishing light or two. For a few $100s in new investment, I expect to add more in terms of fish in the boat than I would by spending thousands of dollars on high-end sonar, trolling motor, and batteries. I'm also writing down a fishing budget for the coming year to help expenses to be intentional and to keep costs controlled. With God's help, this will leave plenty of other resources for family needs and other recreational interests.
When I stand in glory, I will see His face, and there I'll serve my King forever in that holy place. Thank you, oh my Father, for giving us your Son and leaving your Spirit till the work on